You think we've got problems with the English Channel or the Americans with their border? Well, have a look at what happened in the Mediterranean in the last few days. The little Italian island of Lampedusa, 200 boats, an invasion coming across like a military operation, 200 boats in the space of a few days, and over 10,000 young men from a variety of African countries, most of them former French colonies. Now, Lampedusa is completely overwhelmed. The Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, who was elected on a stop the boats ticket, is now desperate. The European Commission President, the ever useless Ursula von der Leyen, she turns up as well. And the Italians are now saying, please, please, European Union, help us. By which she means, number one, please take all these people from us. And number two, let's get an EU Navy fully operational in the Mediterranean to try and stop this problem. In return, von der Leyen says, we can't have it like this. We need safe and legal routes. Well, even if you have safe and legal routes, it won't stop people coming illegally because, and I said this to them in the European Parliament in 2015, just as they pressed the button on a common EU asylum policy, I said to them this.
Now, I suspect that it's a shock, it will be a hell of a shock, to many European citizens, including the British, to understand that we've already agreed a common European asylum system. And what today is about, and today's resolution, is the direct implementation of it. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, is this. The definitions for who qualifies for asylum are so wide, they include not just people coming from war, not just people coming from failed states. Mr Juncker this morning seemed to suggest that perhaps it would even include people who were fleeing poverty. I'm sorry, we simply can't accept countless millions.
And I was right when I said we can't take countless millions. And that has already happened, but it could go into a completely different stratosphere. And if you have a look at some of the footage that's been taken on Lampedusa, you'll see some really quite aggressive young men. They've decided they're coming, whether they paid the trafficker or not, whether they're going to do work in various gangs when they get into parts of Europe or Britain, I don't know. But aggressive young men. Look at this. This has the ability politically to destroy the European Union, because there's no way that Hungary or Poland or maybe now even Germany are going to take any more of these people. They've seen the damage that it's done. They've seen Malmo, a beautiful Swedish city, just now racked with gun crime, cars being set on fire and total disasters. You can't mix people from completely different civilizations in huge numbers. You can't do it. You have to do it slowly and bit by bit. This is all the EU's fault. I knew it at the time in 2015. It may well now get a lot worse. The trouble is, it involves us. I put out during the referendum the breaking point poster. This wasn't people crossing by boat, it was people crossing land borders. But what I was saying was, we need to vote to leave in the referendum, otherwise we'll suffer what the rest of Europe has already begun to suffer. Sadly, the British government since Brexit has not properly enforced our borders. But unless there is a change in the way we as a government does things, unless there is a change in Europe, unless everyone is told, if you cross the Mediterranean, we will take you back to Tunisia and Libya, unless that message is put out, I think this has the potential to literally, socially and politically destroy Europe and damage us as well. This is going to be the biggest political issue over the course of the next year or two. And you may well see Europe now moving, not just to the right, but possibly to the far right as a reaction of this failure.